challenges that a number of us have faced in the past, often with procurement, when dealing with when up against kind of global networking agencies, when you have clients, often procurement clients, sort of going, well, you're a small agency, how can we sort of be confident that you're going to exist before, at the end of the project, sort of thing. And I think kind of having the globality verification absolutely drives that trust and reliability, but also kind of the recognition that we are trusted and professional organizations for those clients who perhaps have never heard of us before starting to engage with us on a particular project. It also, I think, kind of will really help us in our business development. So being verified in this way, kind of giving trust to, as I said, to new clients and procurement people that we are agencies that they can do business with and be happy to do business with, reassuring them on that front. And then the last two things I kind of wanted to kind of end really on the code of conduct piece, because I've witnessed kind of the work that has been done over the last couple of weeks and months from Graham and Chris as well in writing up the code of conduct and clarifying sort of what values we collectively as an alliance kind of aspire to holding ourselves true to. And it's been a joy to see that code of conduct being finalised, because the values that it had, that there are within them and that they're true to, are absolutely fundamental to the reason why the Alliance exists, and why kind of we as independent agencies, I think, come together as an alliance. It's heartwarming, I think, to see those values, and very, very proud to, personally as an agency, we're very proud to sign up to them and agree to continue to strive for them, which again I think is an important thing, not just for our clients and prospective clients, but also for our staff. For our staff to be able to see, yes, we are happy to hold ourselves up to these high aspirations, and being able to be held account by them, by our staff and by our clients. So right, I think I'm gonna. I think there's one more thing to mention, Graham, on the next page. Yes, so I'm actually going to hand over to Graham now to talk about what actually happens on April Fool's Day. I think it's relevant that it's April Fool's Day, because you'd be a fool not to sign up to this verification. So I'm going to hand over to Graham now. Thank you.
Thank you, Lawrence. As you can imagine, we're all very excited about this launch. It's taken probably something in the order of 9 months to bring it together, but we're absolutely delighted. We've been working with Globality across those months, and also working towards having a code of conduct that kind of makes sense in this day and age. So the great news is, from the 1st of April, all Alliance members that appear on our list of members will have signed a code of conduct and will have been qualified by a third-party organisation for financial stability, reputation, relevance and governance. And you're going to hear a lot more about that from Meredith. So what we're claiming is that agencies in our membership are undoubtedly among the best independent agencies and can be relied on for quality professional work. And I think that's quite an accolade. And I think it will carry a badge of honour, which we can talk about. So I'm going to talk you through some of the elements and the process by which we're going to make that happen. So I'm going to give you some headlines, only headlines. I won't bore you with the entire code of conduct, although we've tried to keep it pretty small. As I say, Meredith is going to talk to you about the process that Globality use. We're going to talk a little bit, or one slide, on terms and conditions, and then we're going to just talk about how it all will come together. But as I say, this is only the headlines. If you want to see the full code of conduct, full terms and conditions, all on our website and available. And many of you have already signed them, which I'm delighted to say. So many of you are already on that page we're building for the 1st of April. Hopefully the rest of our members will join you soon. So code of conduct. Essentially, we've taken a view of a code of conduct that this shouldn't be a mandatory type, legal type document, but it should actually reflect a kind of a journey towards what agencies will be required to think about and do in the future, if not right now. So we think this is all about future-proofing your business. And it really it reflects the pillars that we've adopted at the Alliance, which are people, purpose, and performance, with a strong belief that, you know, if you get your people thing right, everything else follows. So what I'm going to talk to you, just the headlines, but the code of conduct is really not designed to restrain you. It's designed to inspire you to greater things. So it aims to encourage fairness, equity, and respect, and as a consequence to cultivate a vibrant, diverse, profitable, and successful wider commercial independent agency community. And there are three big headings: put your people first, create a socially responsible culture, and take care of your clients. So the people, purpose, and performance. So a few words to say on put your people first. We passionately believe that a people first approach will create stronger agencies. So if you create a great people agency and one with a vibrant social responsibility culture, we will push groundbreaking work and will in turn attract the very best talent and client relationships. Who doesn't want to work with the best? So the principles here are attract and retain the best and brightest, put staff well-being at the top of the agency agenda, and commit to continuous learning and development. It's a lot more detail in the code itself, but as I say, many of you have already signed it. Hopefully you will have read it, and I think it is aspirational. You would only ever, I imagine, get kicked out of the Alliance from a code of conduct point of view if you weren't following this. We don't expect everyone to be at the end game day one, but we do expect you to think about these issues and put them in place and have a journey towards it. So only people who transgress this clearly would probably be invited to leave, but I'm sure everyone has got that all under control. We also feel, I mean, this is part of business in today's world. Create a socially responsible culture. And we believe that by doing good, you will do well today and tomorrow. So we want everyone to promote and support diversity and inclusion in the workplace. And that actually, we've already been through this. A great culture creates great work, builds trust, and kindness can be a real benefit to both people giving their everything and clients respecting that. And we have all sorts of things backing this up. So for instance, we're about to announce the fact that we've tied up with the Brixton Finishing Academy or Brixton Finishing School to provide mentors so that we can actively take steps to change the profile of our industry. And we also think it's responsible to develop an action plan for sustainable business practices. Things like recycling are fairly obvious. And thirdly, which I'm sure everyone does quite naturally, take care of your clients. So our commitment in this code is to the highest standards, which will foster our unique position in the market as independent agencies. So maintaining the highest professional and ethical standards in all business activities and working towards creating an atmosphere of trust and empowerment between agencies and clients. There is a word in the, there's also a word in the code about pitching. We are going try to avoid pitching for nothing. And we believe that one route towards avoiding that is by developing a strong positioning that you feel proud of, you feel really behind. And that can enable you, first of all, to say no to certain pitches, but also decide which pitches you want and actually stand on your creds rather than on your last idea. So again, in the code, we're saying you won't be thrown out if you pitch for nothing, but wouldn't it be a great idea if we collectively work towards a market where positioning made more sense to a client than simply the latest beauty parade? So all of this adds up to being an ambassador for the way of the independent. We want to be the future features. We want to be the businesses that really grab the future. And a lot of the inspiration behind this and everything we do has been provided by our future leaders group, who see the way of the future, the diversity, the sustainability, the well-being. And we've built all of that into our code so that we can, as I say, really promote a vibrant culture amongst independent agencies. So that's the code top line. As I say, it's all available online to view. And And I think it's something you might want to share internally and think about and work together as teams and go, how are we going to do this? How can we move this forward? And we are here to help. And so there are a number of things that we're doing that will help you deliver against the sort of aspirations in the code. So that's the first part. The second part of our verification process is a really important and significant part because, you know, it means something to clients, definitely, that agencies are verified. And I'm going to hand over to Meredith Park of Globality to talk you through some of the things that they do to help that process move forward. And I'm going to stop sharing and allow Meredith to take over.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I'm going to just move my presentation into full screen mode, excuse me. My name is Meredith Park. I'm with Globality. I'm the Director of Marketing Services. I can imagine many of you don't know or may not have heard of Globality before. For those of you who haven't, we are an artificial intelligence-based smart sourcing procurement company. So what we do is offer multinational companies, global companies, the opportunity to scope their project through our platform using an AI-driven scoping process, briefing process, to then get matched with providers such as yourselves who are best fit to deliver against their project brief. And then the client is then able to view proposals, your pitch decks side by side in a comparison dashboard, and ultimately award the business to the best fit provider. But I guess the reason why we were partnering with the Alliance is because I think our ethos is very much aligned. It's about inclusivity. It's about creating that level playing field to try to remove as much bias in the buying process, right? And also I should stipulate, by the way, that we are not just a platform for marketing services. We also work in helping clients source managing consulting services, IT, HR, and legal as well. So again, we are all about finding the best fit provider, regardless of whether they are part of a holding company or not. You know, whoever is best at what they do for that particular job, for that particular project. So we are about promoting economic inclusion. So really quickly, I want to show you a brief video about the mission of Globality, because I think it's helpful to understand our ethos.
We believe in the potential of globalization to improve the world's economies.
Oh, wait,
we've seen globalization lift billions out of poverty.
Sorry, I apologize.
But for it to live up to its full potential.
I just realized that I was sharing not that. I was sharing the wrong thing. Apologies. Share my desktop. There we go.
We've all done it, Meredith.
There's a lot more we need to do to create inclusive economies.
In today's global village, smart technology is making us more connected and productive than ever. But as we race into the future, the way large companies source service providers is stuck in the past.
Instead of using state-of-the-art technology, companies use old-fashioned analog RFPs. Globality is actually revolutionizing the way companies buy and sell services.
Our AI technology analyzes millions of data points to match the best provider at the right price for every project. We're connecting businesses that would never have connected before. And our sophisticated rating system continuously tracks performance, updating evaluations in real time. The result? Higher quality, lower costs, more innovation, expanded opportunities, faster growth, and an improved bottom line.
I'm enormously enthusiastic about what Globality has to offer, not only to large international corporations, but also to medium and small enterprises.
Globality is all about disrupting the way procurement takes place around the world.
At Globality, we're unlocking world-class services to help companies create a more inclusive global economy.
Thank you for letting me share that. I hope that was somewhat insightful. But the one thing that I wanted to point out from that video, it's the one takeaway is that it's about matching clients, connecting clients, and we're going after, the top Fortune 500 clients with the right service provider, right? And that's the one thing. It doesn't matter if they, have billions in revenue or just, hundreds of thousands in revenue. It's whoever's right at that moment. Now, being part of, of the Alliance, it also means that you are introduced to us. We got introduced to all of you because you are part of this amazing organization. So as people like me who is part of the marketing services category, I go and I look for providers and I try to identify providers to invite into our Globality network. So it's through network referrals, awards and rankings, expert research, other recommendations from my peers, and obviously from this amazing organization, the Alliance, right? And then based on that, we do vigorous vetting. Sorry, was there a question? Oh, sorry, I thought I heard something. Vigorous vetting from a regulatory reputation, financial fit, quality readiness. We take every provider and put them through the ringer. And I can go into a little bit more information. So from a regulatory perspective, we're looking at both legal regulatory sanctions, anti-money laundering, et cetera, any kind of lawsuits that are pending. Financially, we're using credit agencies, both in the US, the UK, and European credit agencies to understand your financial stability. From a reputational perspective, we're looking across news media, scouring the internet for any kind of information as it may lead to potential conflicts of interest or potential client reputation harm. Or even, harming the reputation of the Alliance or harming the reputation of Globality. From a quality perspective, the fact that you guys are part of the Alliance and, I've definitely looked through every single one of your profiles. I can attest that you guys are amazing partners and we're so proud to have you, not just obviously as a partner of the Alliance, but also now a Globality partner. We're also looking at readiness. Are you guys ready to deliver now? Meaning you fully operational, you have your leadership in place and you have active team members. And then finally, we look at you from a fit perspective. Do you have case studies that could be used to share with our clients? Do you have the ability to service our clients? Because as I mentioned, we deal with multinational companies. And we look at a whole slew of other factors when we look at whether you as a provider, as an agency, can deliver for our clients. And I am so happy to say that based on all of the vetting that we have done, that all of the agencies within the Alliance have passed with flying colors. So, congratulations to all of you. It just shows that you guys have really something truly outstanding to offer and can hopefully be matched to a potential opportunity with our clients. Really quickly, just a little bit more about the company. We use artificial intelligence, and our artificial intelligence, we like to call her Glow. She's our advanced AI bot, and she helps you guys once you decide to create a profile. I think some of you actually do have profiles with Globality, but if you would like to take a step further, create your profile with Globality, then you can log on You will need to send you an activation code. So I will need email addresses, contact information from all of you, so that you can build your profile, and Glow will help you through that process. And the more case studies you put on, also it's another relevant data point that you heard our CEO talk about that can help us better match you to right opportunities. On the flip side of that, clients, we help, as I mentioned earlier, we help clients scope out their projects on our platform. We ask very relevant, pertinent questions as they write out their brief. Our AI is using natural language processing and machine learning to really understand and get at the root of what the client is looking for, and then continues to tailor and ask questions that are much more relevant about what the client is trying to get at and what kind of information would be helpful for you as agencies to include in your pitch decks and your proposals. So, we have been in business for 6+ years. Our clients right now, we have HSBC, we have Santander, and Dropbox. There's also some other clients that, unfortunately, I can't name them directly, but we have a major US airline, a European-based telecommunications company under our belts, a global CPG company. So there are some active opportunities on our platform. So why do agencies love using us? Because first and foremost, there is no cost to all of you to be part of our network. Just to be part of our network, it is, you just need to have a profile in order to be matched. And I think that really comes down to the great big benefit that most agencies enjoy. But also there's no obligation to take on the project once you are matched. You get to be exposed to new clients that you wouldn't have ever been exposed to before. And also we help you along the way. Our artificial intelligence is here to make sure and guide you throughout this whole process. And then there are also people in the background that you can always tap, such as myself, to also provide the additional level of support. And I guess I should have also started off by giving you a little background into who I am and where I've come from. I have been in marketing for over 20 years. I actually started on the agency side, having worked for DMB&B before it was before it changed to Darcy and then got bought out by Publicis. Then I worked at DDB, BBDO, all of the acronyms, and Gray, before moving over to the client side, working for UBS and then Bank of America for 10 years. But now I'm at Globality, and I truly think it's an amazing proposition. And I think the partnership that we have with the Alliance, I'm truly fortunate of, and I think it's a great alliance that we've made with this organization. Any questions?
Yes, Meredith. Hello. Yeah, there was a question in the chat box from Jeremy. So he was asking so was the pass rate really 100% of all of the Alliance members? And the second question was, how was it possible to complete the tests and checks without talking to any of the agencies, I guess, or referencing any of the agencies? So a question about, because obviously the checks that you showed on the previous slide, very in depth. How were you able to do the checks without?
That's a very good question. We have bought and partnered with various different background check companies, such as Dun & Bradstreet. Right. And so, yes, 100% of the agencies within the Alliance did pass vetting. Again, it's just a testimony to the amazing work that all of you do and the success that you guys have brought to your own organizations. But yes, we are using publicly available information as well as the information that we get from companies like Dun & Bradstreet to help verify all of the various information that we get.
Can I ask them, what's the pass rate? It'd be interesting to know just across all of the agencies.
Oh, the pass rate. Yeah. The pass rate, I would say in my tenure, I've been at Globality now for 1.5 years. And I would have to say that the pass rate is more like 60-70%,
right,
for in total for all for marketing agencies, a lot less for smaller agencies. It goes down significantly as agencies are smaller in size. So the fact that, again, the fact that all of you, some of you are smaller, the fact that you guys have passed our rigorous vetting is really impressive.
So can I just say, we ran a test in January prior to the final check that happened last week. And in fact, 3 of our 40 members failed. So, what's that? 6-7% of members at that stage failed. But things have obviously changed in the last few months. And we managed 100. We weren't expecting 100%. Right. It was really great news. But,
it's absolutely great news. And just so you are aware, we do review the vetting on an annual basis. So that means, make sure that you are, you don't do anything scandalous and you keep your finances in check and in order, because this time next year, you may not have passed our vetting.
Fair enough. That's good to know. And Jeremy, just to give you an opportunity, has that answered your question, or do you have a follow-up question? Just you.
Yes, it did. It's excellent that you can do that from a distance. I suppose the question now is, we're in your globality system. What does that mean in terms of HSBC being able to know all of our agencies? What do they get to see? That major American airline? Do they just see a name of a company, or do they see a profile? If so, who's written the profile?
Well, that is now up to you. So you have now been vetted, but it doesn't, and you have now been vetted. But if you would like to be actively shown to our clients, then it means that we invite you to create your own profile, right? And so our AI Glow will then walk you through that process. So you create the profile, you write your own mission statement, who you are, what service capabilities that you offer, case studies. Again, I cannot talk about case studies enough. It is very important that you put as many relevant case studies as possible.
That's a premium paying service, is it?
Excuse me?
Is that a premium paying service for us to have a visible profile?
No, that is not. That is not. As I said, to have a profile, to just be part of our network, there is no cost to you.
And Meredith, follow-up question to that from Paul. Keen to know what the business model is for Globality, just to know who's paying for the service, I guess.
No, of course. So just so you know, that we pass on
Alex, I think you're unmuted. Sorry, I'm going to mute you. Sorry, Meredith.
So we take so each commercial model, or our payment, I guess, the way that we make money is dependent upon each client. But roughly the details are is that we take a small percentage of the total awarded spend through our platform. So if a client puts on £100,000 project, then we take a small cut of that. And so that's how that works. Now, again, I just want to be clear that it is based on your profile, based on your case studies, based on what you include in your profile. That's when you could potentially be matched to a client project. Otherwise, the client will not have had the opportunity to see you. So they can't actually search for you. It is only if you are matched based on your offerings, your capabilities.
And Meredith, you mentioned that you come from quite a number of network agencies. It'd be interesting to get your sort of your point of view on sort of Globality. How useful is it, or how relevant is it to independent agencies versus network agencies, I guess, and I'm hoping the answer is a good one for us, but it'd be good to know.
No, of course. When I started off my career at a whole bunch of holding company agencies, I mean, obviously DMB&B wasn't a holding company agency back in the day, but then it became one. I think it's interesting the way that there's been a shift in industry. It's been all about holding companies, all about working with the big four. Now it's no longer four, but it's about working with Omnicom or Publicis or Interrepublic, et cetera. I think there's a real shift in the marketplace. And as I've seen more and more projects come through, and as I've talked to more and more clients, they are definitely more and more interested in finding the diamond in the rough. They're not necessarily looking for the holding company agency anymore. They're looking for people who can bring innovation, new ways of thinking, new creative thought to their approach, to their strategy. And so the fact, and they're, you know, and I will say that there are definitely some clients who are using holding company agencies just because of various different relationships that they have, but they are also using smaller agencies now, more boutique shops, more so than I think I've noticed over the past even decade.
Yeah, and some of a platform like Globality makes it easier for them to find these smaller, kind of less well-known organizations, I guess. I know part of the answer will be fill up your profile with the best possible content, but how else might we game the system?
I don't know about gaining the system, but I think it's about also beefing up your own bios as well. So putting up relevant team biographical information with relevant experience and expertise from your team members, that also definitely helps too.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
Can I just say as well, I mean, the way we came at this was that being on the Globality platform was an added bonus. And obviously we would encourage everyone who is vetted and can be on the platform to have to actually complete the work. But actually those agencies who choose not to will still be considered vetted through that process. Mm-hmm. And so that there's still credibility and respect should be earned even if you don't complete the process. We'd encourage you to. I think there are already 17 Alliance members who are on the platform, and I think we should try and get as many as possible to join. But there's no obligation to be part of it.
Can I, Jason? I saw you nodding. Are you already on the platform? I think you are, aren't you?
Yeah, we joined the platform probably 2.5 years ago, right at the beginning of Globality. We were invited to join as the person managing the UK market at that point was somebody who was ex-UK agency that knew us. And as a result of being on Globality, we were invited to pitch for, am I allowed to say the brands? You tell me. Meredith.
I don't know, it's you. You can say whatever you want to say. I can't confirm. I can't say.
But am I allowed to say who the companies were we pitched for?
Yes, absolutely.
Sure. Okay, so as a result of, and we wouldn't have certainly had at least one of these opportunities. So we were invited to pitch for Pepsi Cola Russia for a specific brief, which we won, and yeah, was proved to be quite fruitful. And we also had a pitch for Nike. So now the pitch for Nike was a digital brief that was a kind of a specific campaign, which we didn't win, but certainly it opened the door and gave us an introduction to Nike, which otherwise I certainly don't think we would have had as, you know, as an independent, particularly as, you know, 2.5, 3 years ago, a smaller independent, you know, et cetera, and it, you know, it was a pitch for a campaign, but it's obviously then an opportunity to get into Nike and land and expand and all of those things. So certainly through Globality, we got some introductions to companies that we certainly wouldn't have otherwise. There you go. There's your testimonial.
Thank you.
And Jason, can I ask? I'm going to ask the same question in terms of the profile and bios and stuff like that. Kind of relatively straightforward to do from your point of view. Kind of.
It was, and you know, and forgive me, I stepped out for sort of 5 minutes of the presentation. I had to take an urgent call, but but certainly a big sort of benefit is that you fill it out once and you've got a sort of streamlined, almost RFI process, which doesn't need to be repeated and gets exposed to hopefully lots of different clients. At the point at which we were members, I think the AI wasn't as active. And so there was an element of gaming the system by kind of making sure you kept your European account manager suite. Whereas it sounds like the robot has taken over now, and you can't game that quite as much. But yeah, once you sort of upload your experience and profile and what have you, then that seemed to kind of put us forward for some good opportunities.
Absolutely. Thank you. That's really great. And to build off your point, Jason, it's our artificial intelligence has definitely matured a lot more over the past 2.5 years. It's definitely grown. No longer an infant. This is now, full on teenager, hopefully adult soon enough. We are still growing. We are constantly working on training our artificial intelligence. So feedback, we're happy to take negative feedback, constructive criticism, I like to call it, obviously, from all of you. So if there's any issues on platform or issues with engagement, we actively want to know.
Well, perhaps something we can take offline, Meredith, is we were very busy at the outset of Globality, and things have gone sort of quite quiet for us on it. So maybe we haven't been as active on our profile or whatever, and it would be interesting to discuss offline if there's a reason why we were getting quite a lot of opportunities at the beginning, and it seems much less,
No, of course. Let's talk about that. Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know if that's the robot having taken over or if it's sort of something else on the platform.
Well, I'm also happy to do some white glove service and look at your profile specifically.
Cool.
To be fair, when we did the last round of vetting, Meredith and her team did give me a list of agencies whose profile needed to be updated, which we're happy to share with those agencies. And any other agency that wants to get on the platform, if they come through us at the Alliance, we can pass it through to Meredith. We probably want to control it to some extent, but just even if it's just the workload. I have got a couple more slides. I don't know if Meredith can hang on.
I'm sorry. Of course.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Let me go back to share my screen. Okay, so yeah, just a couple of slides just to finishing off. But if Meredith's prepared to stay, you can come back and ask some more questions at the end. But let me just complete the presentation with a couple more slides. As you might imagine, it's not clicking, hold on. We've revised our terms and conditions only because we want to feature agencies on our website and in our marketing materials as vetted, verified members. And so therefore, if you do fall out of love with Globality in a year's time for whatever misdemeanors you've created, we would have to remove you from the platform, from our website. And that can be a temporary thing because Globality do regular checks. So I'm sure if you fell out this year, we would be able to continually monitor your progress. But to appear on the site, you need to have done three things. One is be qualified by Globality, which, as we know, everyone is. You need to have signed the code of conduct, and you need to have signed the terms and conditions. Any members that do, by chance, fall out of that process will still be able to be members and will still get full access to all of our services. It's just that we obviously cannot feature those agencies if they're not in the verified list. So we really truly hope that you stay in that verified list. But unfortunately, if you don't, then we will need to remove your name from it. And so the process will be like this. New members who sign up, whether they sign up on the website or if they come through to us, will be asked to sign a members agreement, which is 2 parts, code of conduct, terms and conditions. They will then be sent to Globality on a monthly basis, I believe, to be qualified, and then will be processed through and will be displayed in all our marketing materials. And existing members will be regularly vetted by Globality on an annual basis, in fact. So we'll keep that list vibrant and up to date. A couple more slides. Obviously, having this in place demands that we tell as many people as possible that our members are a cut above the average. So we will be listing them on the site. We'll be producing regular posts that will talk about verification and members that are verified. We're going to be running features on LBB Online and oyster catchers. And we will provide every member agency with logos to feature on their websites and marketing materials, because we hope that being an Alliance member will in effect be a badge of honor that you will want to promote. We've noticed during this verification process that some of you have still got MAAG logos on your website, so suggest that you move those off and add the Alliance logo. And those members that would like to be on the Globality platform, this is an invitation now for you to do that. You can pass that information through to me and I can pass that on to Meredith so that we know where the partnership is, and we can follow up on agencies that haven't done that. I do believe, Meredith, there is a presentation that you do, which is making the most of the platform, I think. And maybe we could organise something along those lines in the next couple of months for the members that would like to see that. So I think
absolutely. And we also host, I think we still do, but we also host a bi-weekly series that anyone can join. It's kind of like office hours. I don't know if office hours is a thing in this country, actually, now that I say it. So office hours is kind of, any questions you have about your profile and how to make it better, or something about the platform. We host, bi-weekly office hours, I believe on Thursdays. But yes, I can send all of that information to those who are interested. Graham, I think you...
Yeah. If you send that to me, I'm happy to share it with our members. We have regular newsletters going out, so we can add it to our events calendar and things of that nature.
Great.
So I think that probably concludes what we were going to say. We've done some Q&A, but if there are any others, now's a good time. Lawrence will host those for you. So any other questions, please fire away. If there are none, brilliant. Please, members, sign your member agreement so that in 2 days' time we can put your logo up on our website proudly. You've already been vetted, which is probably the most difficult thing. I guess signing a code of conduct is less daunting than going through the vetting process that Globality runs. So we hope that you will all sign that and all be featured. And we're going to do our utmost to make this widely known. And we have some plans to actually talk directly to people in procurement and things like that, so that they're aware that the agencies have been through this process. So Graham, if there's nothing else, I just want to...
Graham, there's one question from Lou, just wondering where the member agreement is. I believe you've emailed it out to everyone, haven't you?
I did, yeah.
In the chat.
Sorry, Terry?
Just put it in the chat.
Terry's going to put it in the chat.
Fine, go on, Graham. Sorry, what was the final thing?
Okay, so there's one final thing. So that if that wasn't exciting enough an announcement, I really have one other which I wanted to share with them, and just to make sure everyone is aware that last week we also launched something else which is a bit special, which is our awards program. Get Your Wings. We have launched the Independent Agency Awards. Call for entries are through to mid-May and actually through to the end of May for the late comers. So please be aware of that. Think about it. We want you to participate clearly. It's all on the website, and we're also looking and recruiting judges. So if you can help us with that, we'd be most grateful. And that ends the broadcast. Thank you all for attending.
Graham, when are the awards going to happen?
So the first round judging is the mid-June. Entries can be now because it's live, but the deadline for entries, I think, is the end of May. First round judging is early June. The second round judging is early July, and the award event will be September.
Okay, great, thank you. Fab, are there any final questions? Jason?
No, great.
I saw you unmuted. I thought you were brilliant. Well, great. If there are another questions.
Sorry, Lawrence. There is one. I have had a few emails bounce back, which was essentially, how much is this going to cost, or is this an additional cost? And the answer to that is clearly no. I hope we've made that clear, that there is no additional cost to your membership of the Alliance, and there is no cost if you wish to take that on to membership of the Globality platform. So there are absolutely no costs. This is another member benefit, if you like, and an ability to promote the great stuff that's happening in the independent agencies.
Great. And if we, in order to contact Meredith to help us with the profiles, etc., are you going to share kind of contact afterwards, or share the?
Yeah. We're happy for you. If anyone on this call would like to be on the Globality platform, happy for you to send anyone at the Alliance an email, and we'll pass that through.
Right. Great. Good to know. All right. Well, thank you very much, Graham. Thank you very much, Meredith. And thank you, Terry, for doing your usual awesome